Happy Sunday. It's a nice day outside. The sun is shining, and today I just sat in like total silence, and I've just been reading my Bible, and it's been such a good last couple hours. Just quiet. For me, I just feel like, and I've said this a billion times before, but it's so hard sometimes to separate the noise and kind of dilute into like hearing, God's voice, and it's tricky because there's so much happening, and I've been binge watching Friends like a crazy person because I just don't have the energy to like do anything. And this weekend I've been pretty sick. I won't go into detail, but I have not eaten since Friday, and just throwing up, and I've been running a temperature since Friday night, and so I've been really frustrated with this whole health thing, and it's just weird to feel nauseous and throwing up every day for no reason, and not being able to eat food, and having like crazy intense pain, and it's weird to have all those things and not have an answer for why they're happening. And so I've just been praying, and I know I've talked about it a lot, and I'm trying really hard to remain positive because it's been just a really odd situation. But yeah, I just feel like my videos have been like lackluster, and I'm like, I try to watch them over again before I post them. I'm like, I don't even want to put the videos up just because you can see it on my face. I'm just tired, and I'm worn out, and my eyes are like super puffy. But I was reading or like looking in the Bible app this morning because I like to do some of the devotionals on there, and the verse of the day was Psalm 130. I think it was verse 5, and I loved it so much, so I decided that I was just going to read the whole verse. And, oh geez, it's kind of hard to... Okay. It says, "Out of the depths I cry to you, Lord. Hear my voice, let your ears be attentive to my cry for mercy. If you, Lord, kept a record of sins, Lord, who could stand?" I'm gonna... No, I can't. Never mind. Whoa. There we go. Sorry. Let's try this again. "Out of the depths I cry to you, Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to my cry for mercy. If you, Lord, kept a record of sins, Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, so that we can with reverence serve you. I wait for the Lord, my whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope. I wait for the Lord more than the watchmen wait for the morning, more than the watchmen wait for the morning. Israel, put your hope in the Lord, for with the Lord is unfailing love, and with him is full redemption. He himself will redeem Israel from all their sins." And I love that verse, and I've never read it before, and it I love verse 3. If you, Lord, kept a record of sins, Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, so that we with reverence can serve you. And I love that because, there's times when, when I make mistakes and I'm like, oh, God, I just, like, why? Why are you so good to me? And I expect, like, judgment from God. Like, I expect judgment from people when I mess up. And, granted, like, when there's consequences when you make mistakes, but, with God, it's something completely different. It's unconditional love, and sometimes I get mad at God. I'm like, oh, why are you so forgiving? Like, why don't you just, like, punch me in the face with, like, I don't know, something? And that's not how God is, and then that's not how we should be. It sucks when people wrong you, and it's difficult, but like, no matter how many times I mess up and fail, like, God doesn't, push me aside, and he's forgiving and he's loving. And I love verse 5 where it says, I wait for the Lord, my whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope. And there's lots that God has promised us individually, and for myself, there's promises that God has made. And when I've heard it when I was in Master's Commission, the director Adam always says, don't doubt in darkness what God promised in the light. And that's so true. When things are crummy, when things don't look up, when you're in this valley, when you feel like you're in a pit, and you're like, God, where are you? Like, he is still there, and his promise still stands firm, even though you don't see it at that moment. Something they also said too was, the butter's coming, like, the good stuff is coming. And just, if there's ever a time when you doubt, just go back to the word of God, go back to what he promised you in the light, and remind yourself of that daily if you have to, hourly if you have to. Yeah, this Bible talks about, he will never leave us nor forsake us. And yeah, so I love that verse. So that's basically it. Hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. It is laundry day. To do some laundry. Gonna put on a pot of coffee and just chill, like I've been doing all weekend. But hope everyone had a good weekend and is ready for Monday.